Remember to let her into your heart, then you can start to make it better. We all know that song by the Beatles. But that song has a special meaning to me because it literally changed my life. While traveling in India, I met Eva, a 29-year-old, beautiful German doctor. And having breakfast with her, I found out she was intelligent and funny. And we were both planning to go to the same village full moon festival 3 days later. So we agreed to meet there. And 3 days later, I'm waiting in the village square. 8 o'clock, no Eva. 8:30, no Eva. 9 o'clock, forget you, Eva. So I go to a restaurant, and who's there? But Eva. Hi, Eva. Weren't we supposed to meet at 8 o'clock? Yeah, that's right. You weren't there. That's right. Well, she was sitting with 2 other Germans, and one younger, more handsome guy than me, and another older woman. So I joined them, and they kept speaking German, even though they all spoke English very well. So I finished dinner, and I went home to my hotel. Next day, I went to lunch, and there was that song, Hey Jude. I've heard it 1,000 times, but this time it was a little different, because it was like Paul McCartney was singing just to me. Hey Frank, don't make it. Remember to let Eva into your heart. Wait, Paul, I'm not letting Eva in my heart. She's not kind. She didn't come, she didn't apologize, she wouldn't speak English. Then you can start. Okay, all right, Paul, I'll let her into my heart. 1%, that's all she deserves. But later I was to find out that the difference between 0 and 1% is not 1, it's infinity. Later I went out, walked around, and I saw an amazing thing in India, an Indian ferris wheel. There's no motor. Teenagers climb up, and they grab onto a basket and ride it down. It was so cool, I took many pictures. And then for dinner I went to another restaurant, and who's there? But the jolly Germans again. I joined them, and wow, it looks like Mr. Handsome and Eva are really hitting it off. They're laughing at each other's jokes, eyes are lighting up, and I'm thinking, man, they're going to be a couple by the end of the night. So we finished dinner, and Mr. Handsome stands up and grabs the older woman and said, we're going to go out together, see the village. I was shocked, and Eva was shocked. And here I am alone with Eva, but who cares? She's not kind. So she asked me, what did you do today? And I told her about the Indian ferris wheel. Oh, I want to see it. So we go out together into the village, and it was magical. There was a puppet show, there were lights, there was fireworks, there was food, there was everything except one thing you wouldn't see in this small Indian village. You couldn't touch a woman if you're a man. You can't walk hand in hand, you cannot kiss, nothing. It's not allowed, they wouldn't tell you. So we found the Ferris wheel. There's a big crowd of people around the Ferris wheel, but it's not moving. And we're waiting and we're waiting. So finally we asked somebody, well, you see, the Ferris wheel can't go because it has to be balanced, and it's not balanced because nobody wants to get on, because you see it's a little bit dangerous. Dave and I thought the same thought at the same time. Let's do it. And it was like Moses raised his hand and the crowd parted, and we walked on and we got onto the basket. And there was Eva and me and 2 little boys. And the teenagers climbed up, grabbed onto the basket. It started to move, and one of the boys jumped out. And before the other boy could jump out, we were going around and around and around. Now, from the outside, it didn't look like it was going very fast. But on the Ferris wheel, it felt like it was going really fast. So I reached over and I grabbed Ava's hand for support, to hold myself in her. Okay, it's a lie. I wanted to hold her hand, and I heard Paul's voice. So we're going around and around and around. Where we stop, nobody knows. We stop on top. The same situation. We're up on top of the Ferris wheel, and nobody wants to get on. And there's the moon, and there's the wind from the beach, and the sounds and the magic, and Paul's voice. And so I just changed my grip from a grip to a little caress. And I looked up at Eve to see what would happen. And some of the ice melted, and she smiled. And I knew, Power surged. Wheels turned. But nothing moved except the opening up of 2 young hearts and the coming together of lips. Little boy was still looking over the side. He was looking for his friend. He wanted to kill him, perhaps. We found the only place in the entire village where we possibly could have held hands or shared a kiss. And there was time for a second, sensuous, serene, life-changing, soul-wrenching kiss that ever lasted until eventually around and around and around until we finally came down. And only then did I let go of her hand. That was the beginning of a great love in my life. What happened to Ava? That's another story. But after that, I became a playboy. Not playing girls, but playing life. Because I realized if you change your won'ts, your can'ts, your impossibles, your 0% to 1%, then miracles can happen. You can move a mountain, or a ferris wheel, or you can change a glacier into a beautiful, loving woman. If you just let life into your heart, then you can start